Hello Wiz fans, and welcome to a series of videos that has taken almost 12 months in the making. This baby has taken the hard work from over a dozen people as well as close to $500. This project is of course our complete concept for a Wizard101 level 130 dungeon. This includes a complete storyline with character dialogue, bosses and their cheats, maps for the areas, gear, and equipment drops, and of course, brand new spells. The gear, spells, and bosses will all come at the time of the story that they're introduced. Remember, all of the music, artwork, and ideas are owned by me and/or their respective creators. If you want to repost or use any of it, please contact me. Otherwise, any use of it without consent is, of course, stealing. Well, let me just start off with the fact that while making this dungeon, we wanted to work within the rules of the Wizard101 game and not break anything too much in terms of gear and boss cheats. We also wanted to push these limits as seen in much of what we have created. During many parts of this adventure, when the picture of me comes up on the screen, you will know that this is my commentary on the matter. This could be me explaining the thought process of something we added, a pop culture reference, or a viable strategy to defeat a certain boss. Regardless, I hope you enjoy the dungeon and all of the hard work that me and my team have put into making these videos possible. If you enjoy, please leave a like, any comments about your thoughts, and perhaps subscribe if you want more of this content. This is the first of 3 videos in the series and will show about a third of the content in this new fan-made expansion. Also, there are bound to be some missed mistakes, which are expected in an amateur project of this magnitude. Some things like XP and gold for quests I didn't bother calculating realistically, since I thought a detail like that didn't warrant the time I would need to spend on it. Without further ado, since this is bound to be a long video anyway, sit back and relax. Let's get into the story. We start as any new expansion does, with a notification from a character calling you on a quest.
Wizard, I have awful news from Grizzleheim. Come see me where we started in Old Town. Let us hope that this is not the end.
We travel to Old Town to visit Baldur Goldpaws and see what he has in store for us.
Wizard, praises to Valhalla you have come. There is news that the great god I was named after has died. Baldur the glorious, pure, and generous is gone, and we fear something far worse is yet to come. You must learn about powers greater than Grizzleheim. Go to Nidavellir and study the depiction of our great world tree.
Without giving too much away, obviously, the death of the god Baldur is the start of a famous event in Norse mythology. Even more tie-ins with both Norse mythology and other forms of pop culture will come, of course. We now travel to Nidavellir and look for the painting.
You look at the painting and notice a great world tree, much like Bartleby. Next to it are the sun and the moon.
Now back to Baldur in Old Town.
Ah, so now you know of Yggdrasil, our world tree. It is the hub to the many realms of Grizzleheim, including Asgard, home of the gods. Now that the god Baldur is dead, I fear Ragnarok is upon us. Talk to Vanir Stormroar in the Hundrofjord.
If you haven't figured it out or seen the thumbnail, this dungeon indeed follows the events of Ragnarok. This is the famous event in Norse mythology that sees the death of the gods. Baldur now sends us to Wintertusk, the last place we visited related to Grizzleheim.
Ah, Wizard. Good to see you again. You say Baldur Goldpaws sent you? The Everwinter? I thought we stopped Ymir and Nastrand and he is still sleeping. If what you say is true, then it was all for naught. His son Nordri would know if he still slumbers. I would go talk to him.
Here Vanir is referencing the Everwinter, the thing we tried to stop in the Wintertusk storyline. In Norse mythology, the 3 long winters is another bad sign after the death of Baldur.
You
The tooth you gave me from Nidhogg was a fake. That beast was not the true serpent, but an impostor. Why have you come back?
You tell him about his father and the Everwinter.
Yes, my father has awoken. The Everwinter is here, but something far worse is yet to come. I shall not punish you for the fake tooth, wizard. A worse fate awaits you.
Nordri confirms that his father, Ymir, has awoken after all, and the Everwinter is upon us. Nordri also mentions a quest in Wintertusk, where you deliver the tooth of Nidhogg to him. The presence of Nidhogg and Mimir in actual Wintertusk I have retconned as fake versions of the real characters, since I want to use them as part of the story. We now travel to the King of the Bears.
Baldur's death? The Everwinter? Oh no, it's happening, wizard. Ragnarok is here. This is the foretold end of the gods and our world as we know them. You must stop this, wizard. You must. Before you find the gods, make sure the great beast Fenrir is still chained. You'll find his place of bondage in Avalon behind a huge door in the high road. I wish you luck, wizard. The fate of the 9 realms is in your hands.
The last piece of the start of Ragnarok from Norse mythology I have included after Baldur's death in the Everwinter is Fenrir's escape from bondage. Now we go to the mysterious Thor door in Avalon to see if Fenrir has truly escaped. Just a quick intrusion, but this Thor-looking door's purpose has always intrigued the Wiz community. I figured this would be as good a use as any.
You find a rock with broken chains and fur next to it. It appears Fenrir has escaped.
Oh, did you do this? And I thought I was naughty. I can't wait to run up and down the great tree telling everyone how conniving you are. Oh, you would like to go to the tree? Sorry, I guide messages, not wizards. Or we play a game. If I win, you have to help me stir trouble between the serpent and the eagle. If you win, I'll guide you up and down the tree. Woohoo! This should be fun.
And now begins our first fight of the dungeon. As the first fight of many, I'm going to do these in a particular way. I will play the music used for each battle, and I will explain the boss's stats, cheats, favorite spells, and any notable drops they might have. Then, after the battle, I will do a brief commentary on the thoughts behind how we came up with the cheats, a few strategies, and what would work against them. So let us get into our first fight, Ratatoskr. And this is, as any intro to a new world or dungeon, a solo fight. Rat, which is Ratatoskr, not to be confused with the Rat, is a life boss with 30% damage, 20% pierce, 20% resist, 20,000 health, and he gets 2 power pips around. He will cast spells like Luminous Weaver, Lifeblade, Hungry Caterpillar, Goat Monk, and Leprechaun. So far not too crazy. He uses basic life spells and his stats are not super difficult. But this is where it gets insane. Now for his cheats, and there are a lot. At the start of the fight, Rat will say,
Let's flip a coin to see who goes first.
And of course, he will always go first, saying,
Looks like it's me.
He also goes twice around, once before the wizard and once after, while saying only on the first time doing this,
I haven't gotten to go yet.
he rolls an 8-sided die on screen with numbers 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 7 to see how many cards you will get to draw in that turn. On the first roll, he will also have this verbal cue when rolling.
Oh, let's play my favorite game.
Yes, that's right. Usually the wizard gets 7 cards to play in their hand each turn. Now you have a 1 in 8 chance of getting all 7 cards, and a 3 out of 4 chance of getting 5 or less. I hope you're feeling lucky. Rat also doesn't let you use any TCs, or treasure cards. And when you try to draw one, he won't let you, and he will say,
You can only play with what you have learned.
when you try to heal, he will hit you with his natural attack for the amount you healed. This can be shielded. And then heal himself back for the same amount, saying,
Actually, it was my turn to heal.
Healing is still a strategy here. It just isn't as free or easy to do as in other battles. If you want to risk a heal, you better have a shield or an aura up, and he is also going to heal. And yes, he will hit you for each tick of an overtime heal, as well as Death Wizards and their steel health will activate this cheat too. To make it a bit easier for Life Wizards, he will constantly replenish life prisms on himself if one is taken off.
Nature is my favorite.
If more than 5 blades are on the wizard, he steel charms down to 5 blades.
Share the wealth.
If more than 3 traps are placed on him, he will say,
I'm playing my get out of jail free card.
And cleanse all traps until there are only 3. If a feint, backdraft or supercharge, ice or frozen armor, or spirit armor, or shield over 50% is casted, he takes it off.
This number is too high for me.
If there is a protected item that he is supposed to take off with one of his cheats, he will remove or steal it again, saying,
Why is that still there?
These cheats enable no stacking of blades, traps, feints, or anything like supercharge or backdraft. You're probably going to have to get at least 2 or 3 hits on him in order to kill him, as one-shotting is going to be more difficult than on a typical solo boss. And yeah, that's it. He really doesn't drop anything of note, and this is a taste of the difficulty that this dungeon is about to offer. Now for the true analysis of the fight. Speaking of difficulty, we wanted to make sure this whole dungeon was difficult, and this solo rat fight sets a precedent. Gone are the days of showing up to Darkmoor, a level 100 dungeon, in level 60 Waterworks gear and being fine. That kind of mindset won't fly in this dungeon. Each boss should take multiple tries, especially on the first run, and that makes getting gear and the completion worth it. To defeat each boss will take preparation and skill never seen before, not to mention a little luck too. I get Wizard101 is a kid's game, but for me the most fun is new material that challenges old players that have been playing for a while. After all, this is my dungeon, and in reality, it could be nerfed after a few months, like every world boss is anyway. Besides that, let's talk inspiration for the rat fight. Rat is a trickster for fun. He likes playing games, and that is shown in the dice rolling and style of his cheats. All of his voice lines are comical, and 2 even reference Monopoly. To beat Rat, putting up a defense aura like Brace is probably your best option. Every turn should be spent playing mostly defensive, since he hits twice a round. A shield spell like Tower Shield is really strong here, since any other shield above 50% is taken off. Stacking a few blades and traps, not enough to trigger the cheat, and then spam hitting often is a strong strategy too. The rat fight is tough, but by no means impossible. The first fight of a new expansion should set the tone. This fight shows that this new dungeon will A, not be easy and take some thought and strategy, and B, use many new creative cheats that said strategies will have to work around.
Cheater! That's no fair. Fine, I'll help you. Use the runestone in Vigrid Ruffland and it'll take us to Yggdrasil, the tree of the gods.
Now we venture to the Vigrid Ruffland. Like Darkmoor, Aquila, or Zigzag, I wanted to find an object in Grizzleheim that could be used to teleport to this dungeon. The hub of this area is one of my favorite spots in the whole entire game, so when I was looking around here, I found the perfect thing. And with this interaction, you now get teleported to an entirely new hub area, Yggdrasil. Most Wiz areas are laid out laterally, like a landscape, but this area is built upwards with floors, almost like a building. From here, the first thing we will do is talk to Ratatoskr.
Well, here we are. If you're looking for that big bugger Fenrir, you should go to Helheim. He is probably with his sister in her domain. When you're down there, tell Nidhogg I say hi. Oh, you met an imposter of his? Tell him that the eagle thought the imposter looked more dangerous. Well, have fun, Wizard. Don't get stuck down there forever. Hehe.
Rat talking about Nidhogg, the real one, and the eagle is a reference to his lore. Ratatoskr is the messenger of the gods and runs up and down the tree delivering news. At the top is the eagle, with Nidhogg, the serpent, at the bottom. Rat, to his own amusement, loves to stir up trouble by spreading gossip between them. Now we start our journey into the first of 3 dungeons, Helheim, where you, the wizard, will search for the great beast Fenrir in an effort to stop Ragnarok. And this is where this video will end. Don't worry, I'll be trying to upload these videos every few weeks, but realize they take a long time to script and put together. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know your feedback on this series so far. This is the first of a 3-part video series, with the 4th video special edition to be added at the very end. Let me explain. The 2nd episode will cover the first 2 of the 3 dungeons, and the final episode will cover the 3rd and last dungeon, and end the story. The extra +1 on the end, the 4th video, will be a full video of the dungeon with all of my extra commentary taken out. The notes about the bosses and my narration between dialogue will stay, but the extra commentary with my inspiration, creative thoughts, and strategies for bosses will not be in this version. This way, you'll be able to experience the dungeon closest to if it were actually in the game. Originally, I was going to make this shorter version first, but some of the writing, references, and boss cheats just needed more explanation, and I felt as if my commentary was a better way to experience this dungeon for the first time. Anyway, I'm on a ramble of sorts, and I should just bring this video to an end. All of the music, artwork, and ideas are owned by me and or their respective creators, and if you want to use it, please reach out to me on Twitter or Discord. I love my artists, so please give them some love, more of their work to be shown in the next 2 videos. Giving this video a like or sharing it with a few of your Wiz friends helps me out a lot and gives me incentive to create even more content like this. I hope you're already looking forward to the rest of the dungeon, and I will see you later.